Hi all. Right, more RAF. This will be starting raid day 4. So this is the last day before we get some added target cards. We're on August 23rd, and just as a reminder there, just looking down at that marker, kind of forgot about that as well, down there. So that tells us that we can use, we fought 3 grouping for we fought 2 raids, so that should make this day a bit more interesting, shouldn't it? It should be yeah, I'm going to have access to a lot more units. So yeah, I was I was thinking about trying to look into some more different strategies here, because it looked like I was just picking out 12 grouping. It looked very similar, and although that was fine, I'm not sure. I can see where all the deep strategies come from in the thinking, about what I should be doing, if I should be considering some other things. I mean, we are starting to see some green squadrons showing up, and no doubt we'll get more of them as the days go on, because obviously their experienced pilot points they're always going to be at 0 now, I think, and depending on how many they gain from the day event, will determine how many green units end up. But I suppose, would there ever be an awful lot? Maybe not. Depends how many losses we inflict, I suppose. However, I did sort of think that I'm going to put a bit more effort into my planning here, but I'm still not really sure. But I suppose let's just get it started, and then we can see if we can think a wee bit more. I think I have realised that now, that all the strategy in this game is the very first part, the planning stage. But what raids you're picking, what bombers you're putting on, and what strategy cards you're using where, etc. So that's where it all lies, really. Because after that, it's just a case of it's just the dice rolls and charts that are going to determine what's going to happen to you. Right, okay. Right, let's bash on. So German night raid planning. So what have we got? Now, the priority table did not change, did it? I'm assuming that's right. It changed the first 2 times with the day event table, didn't it? The day event table, the day card. Was that right? Yeah, but it didn't. That must be when it happens. Set German target priorities. So I'm assuming they just stay the same as they were the day before then. So we're going to have a low city. The priority for cities is low, and industry is medium. Yeah, so it's 3 to 6 again. But quite like picking the 4. However, this time I will need to keep in mind that I'm getting to use we fought 3 units. Whereas, I didn't feel like we were going to get through all the units before. So this time I'll have the chance of that. I think we still could, though. I mean, if you look at all the bombers we've got from we fought 3. Oops. There is plenty of them, so we're not allowed to use these for the night raids. That's right. Yeah, and we used these the first time, and then Martin pointed out to me that you're better using these because they're slightly worse. I still think we do take them from we fought 3, because the 3 units that we do have out of action are from we fought 2. Oh, that's not true. Yeah, they are. Sorry, my bad. The white band tells you they're all from we fought 2. And these are never coming back, and this one was a heavy loss, and it's moving into a light loss box. So we're kind of 3 bombers down from Lufot 2 as it is. So yeah, I don't see the point in taking. So I think it is better taking 4 though. If you only take 2, well actually no, I can't take 2, can I? I've got to take a minimum of 3. And looking up at the night raid bombing table, 3 is the first column, which isn't really any good unless you roll a 6. So 4, it gives you a slight better chance. You can get a result on a 4 or a 5. So yeah, I'm going to take the Heinkels again. So we'll take an A, B, C, and another A for them. So we'll take the 4 Heinkels and put them up in the night raids box. They're from Lufot 3. And yeah, I think it's still worthwhile putting them up there. It could be, well, no, you know what? We don't have a choice, do we? Yeah, we don't have a choice because this isn't. You can choose between 3 and 6. This is a minimum. You've got to choose a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6. So yeah, we don't really have an option. So there you go. Right, that's that done. And right, strategy draw. Now again, I've not updated this card yet, so this is one that I had a bit of errata to change about to. But if I look at the victory points we're on is -6, which tells us we'll get 3 strategy cards. So I will draw 3 strategy cards. Now they get shuffled up every day, so 1, 2, 3. I'll show you what I've got. Okay, there's our right, high speed raid we've not seen. We've seen the major raid coronation. We had that the last time, which was pretty good. Yeah, because we can pick a minor raid, turn it into a major raid, and also the bonus of not doing a rendezvous check. The ASME 109 grouping, we had that the day before, the last day I think. And that kind of gives you a shift, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's pretty good as well. Right, what is this high speed raid then? If this raid consists only of ME 110 grouping assigned to strafe, do not conduct a rendezvous check for this raid. Do not count this raid when conducting rendezvous checks for other raids in the time segment, and toward the limit of 3 raids per time segment. Okay, and then subtract 2 from the detection die roll. Okay, well that sounds good, but it does mean we've got to have a raid that's just got ME 110s, which I've not sort of delved into yet, have I? Well, maybe this is a chance to have a go at that then, and not use any bombers. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. Also, kind of like once really kind of, well, not pushes you towards, but sort of hints towards that you might want to put them in a time segment with others, and possibly even have them in a time segment with 3 raids in them, because that would ignore that rendezvous check for that. Yeah, so a bit of thinking to do with that one, I think. Okay, so well, I'll just leave them lying there just now. That is that. On the next card, raid target selection. So draw 10 cards. Morning Haze is not in operation. They refer to the raid priority table, and some will get discarded, and then we need to choose what we want. And this is where I've got to start scratching my head. Okay, I'll get the 10 cards drawn and we can have a look at them. Okay, 10 cards drawn. I noticed there was 2 from Lufot 3, and the rest are Lufot 2. So let's see what we get. I'll just try and put a couple out here and we can see what's what. You can see the priority is up just above there. So this is a value 3 with a port. So that's a major. That's a major. Right, put him there. And the second one, strategic value 2, industry, which is a minor. Okay. And then the last one, strategic value 3, airfield at Hornchurch, that's a major. And that minor that I chose, I picked the cars up. That minor was from, just to note, that was from We Fought 3, that one, so yeah. So yeah, that was a major. So what we got? Another 3 out here. Biggin Hill, Beachy Head, Worth. Biggin Hill, airfield, strategic value 3, that's a major. Beachy Head, radar net, strategic value 2 is a no raid. Because radars are low priority, so that's a no-go. Now, there's no chance of keeping these like we had the last time, so I'm just going to discard that one straight away. This is for We Fought 3. Oh, it's only strategic value 1. Oh, that's not happening, is it? It's radar net as well. Right, I can't seem to pick them up for that side. So that's 2 away. So we're only going to have one option of We Fought 3. But however, remember we do have that. We did have that marker that says that we can use We Fought 3 for We Fought 2 raids. So that's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? So here's a city, strategic value 3. Which is just a minor raid because it's low priority. Remember though, one of these minor raids will be able to upgrade with a strategy card. Airfield, strategic value 3 is a major. Yeah. Airfield, strategic value 2 is a major as well. And then the last card is Hornchurch again. Seem to get them. There's quite a lot of them for Hornchurch, isn't there? Quite a lot going on there. That was maybe one of the main areas. So strategic value 3, that's a major as well. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 8 raids in total, 6 majors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of which are airfields and 1 port. And then the 2 minors are for city and for industry. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah. Well, I suppose this is where I've got to just go away and decide what to do. I mean, I probably don't want all 8. Where's the table that tells you? 8 or more raids, we would get a maximum of 10 grouping in each raid. That seems like a bit too much. I think the fact that I can use We Fought 3 here as kind of show that's tempting me in to try and maybe take on more raids than I have. So, well, to be honest, last time, we had 6, didn't we? But one of them was a decoy, so we only really had 5. What if we could push to 7? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 majors, and we could, well, to be honest, the minor, we can turn that into a major. So that would give us 7, 11 grouping in each raid maximum. Remember, we've got the ME 110 thing. So that'll be interesting to maybe try. But I mean, if you had a living grouping, so my big raids would be consisting of, well, if you pushed it to 4 bombers, you would only get 3 fighters in the hunt box, wouldn't you? 4 bombers, 2, well, just look down there. just to get the 4 bombers as 2 ME-109s on Channel Patrol. And remember, we need half of the bombers on Coast Escort because of the advance rule. So that would be 8. That would only leave us 3 units in the hunt box. That's why that 12 number just feels better, giving you 4 fighters in the hunt box. I don't know. That feels like the comfortable number for me. I mean, I suppose if we weren't playing with the advance rule, the advance rules, and not using, you wouldn't be restricted to having to have 2 in the Coast Escort box, would you? But we're not. Well, we are playing with the rules, so we've got to follow that rule. Coast Escort minimum, innit? Yeah. Unless, of course, you only take 3 bombers along. So we certainly could do that. 3 bombers, and then 3 bombers only forces you into 1 ME-109 on Channel Patrol. You would still need 2 in the Coast Escort box. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, well, to be honest, that would give you access to, what did I say, a maximum of 11? That would give you access to 5 fighters in the hunt box. Which is probably too many, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'd like to try and go for the 6 raids and get the magic number of 12 per raid. I don't know, it feels more comfortable to me. So that probably means that we're going to have to drop 1. It makes more sense dropping 1 of the majors though, because we're going to be able to, that would mean there'd be no point in that strategy card, wouldn't there? So, right, okay. So I think I'll do that, and I'll drop 1 of the majors. I'll drop 1 of the majors, 1 of the minors, and we'll end up with 6 raids, which will all turn into majors anyway. Right, I'll go away and think about. That's what stage are we at? We're at the stage to pick the cards, aren't we? Place to select the cards on the raid planning track using time markers. Yeah, and then we've got the forward airfield targets. Every time I look across it doesn't kind of appeal to me, so. Yeah. Okay, I'll go and scratch my head for a wee while. Hi all. Right, back to some more RAF Eagle. Couple of things to straighten out. I made a wee note on that. It wasn't the last video, it was one before that. I made a mistake. I got it right and come at the conclusion that I was taking 2 squadrons out the cup, and I proceeded to take 3 out. And it made a difference because they would have responded if I'd only took the 2 out. Because I took the 3 out, it ended up they didn't respond. The fact that I've recorded another episode since and finished the day off, I can't really go back and fix that. What I thought I would do is just make a couple of adjustments. I'm not really sure. I got 2 victory points for the bombing run, so I was thinking I'll reduce my victory points by 1. But I'll also reduce my bomber replacement points by 1 and my fighter replacement points by 1. Just taking that account that I may have got 2 light losses and I may only have scored 1 victory point. Yeah, I don't know. Could be hurting me slightly more than it should, but I don't know. I don't know what else to really do. I could have studied the footage and possibly worked out what the fighters would have done and rolled it out and made it done it all off camera and that, but it just seems like an awful lot of hassle. I know I usually like to try and fix these things, but I think I would be coming to this conclusion. I wouldn't be going back and rewinding it, but I would have maybe worked out that, okay, I would have only scored 1 victory point instead of 2, and one of my bombers would have got hit for a light loss or something like that. Yeah, but it's not easy to kind of work out because we didn't do a squadron attack, did we? Yeah. So I didn't even do that, so I can't even see what the results would have been with that. So let's just go with that. Let me know if you think I should have done it differently. I don't like all that stuff, but yeah. Okay, I'll go with that, and we'll see. Also, I've just noticed, just looking at my advanced rules there, and it looks like I've missed a couple of things. I had a feeling they would creep in slowly, and then I wouldn't sort of see them. And although the one Martin pointed out to me, squadron self-preservation, that was there from the start. I don't know how I missed that. However, we've got two that come into it with the green pilots. This is 19.6. 19.61 is green pilot response. It says up to 2 reduced squadrons may be selected for the response pool instead of 1, which is a revision to 14.3. The second squadron is taken following the same guidelines as the first. However, no more than 1 green squadron may be taken from a given sector. Oh, okay. I didn't read that fully then. Well, I was okay with that then, because I think we had... Did we not have a situation where there was there was 2 green units in the one sector, I think. So hang on, what's 14.3? Selecting squadrons from the raid responsible. If a reduced squadron is eligible, it must be taken. If more than 1 is eligible, only 1 is taken, even if it decreases the number of squadrons responding. Okay. So normally you can only take 1 green squadron for the response. So you'll only have 1 in the cup. Well, it doesn't actually go in the cup, but you know what I mean. But this allows you up to 2. I actually thought it was meaning that we could have took 2 from the one sector, but that's not what that says. So okay, we've done that one okay then. So we can never take... Well, we can actually take 2, but we couldn't take 2 from one sector. Right. But the following one I missed though. 19.62 is green pilot compensation. Reduce results from the raid response priority chart by the number of reduced squadrons in the pool, which is an adjustment to 7.2. So it says, example, if the chart calls for you to remove 3 squadrons from the pool, and there is 1 reduced squadron in the pool, you would remove only 2 squadrons. But not the reduced squadron, obviously, because it's outside the cup. So I missed that. So you know what? That might have actually balanced things out. Oh, I wonder if that might have done. Hang on, wait now. Am I reading that right? Hang on, the chart calls me. Oh no, that's worse for us. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong. So yeah, if we want to move 3, we're only going to remove 2 if there's 1 reduced squadron. Okay. Oh, that's slightly worse. Well, that could have made things even worse for us. So I'll need to keep an eye on them. Yeah. I can't... Yeah, I need to wipe out that last raid and go way back. So... Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just going to push on, guys. I think it's too much to try and rewind and fix. It's a pity I hadn't uploaded that last bit. Or what I did was I've created... This is where I can go wrong. If I create more than 1 video without reviewing it back, this ends up causing the trouble, because I usually spot the errors. But if I've already then created another, done another part of the playthrough, it's trickier to go back. So I should really review them as soon as I can, before I start recording any more. But, well, it just depends on what, the time I've got to do what, really. So, right, okay, we'll just leave it and we'll persevere. Right, I've set my raids out And again, I thought I was going to put some thought into it, and I thought I would have a better idea what I'm doing, but I still really don't. And I think it's when I've set everything out, and then when I'm playing it through, and I realise, right, okay, I maybe should have had that like that. But I just don't feel it at the time. I don't know. I've not got any radars to target. So it's not that I can sort of consider, let's take some radars out before we go for certain airfields. It's mainly all airfields. We've got an industry here, which was a minor raid, so I've put the major raid on that. This is the only We've Fought 3 raid, but if you remember, we've got the event that we can use We've Fought 3 unit grouping for a We've Fought 2 raid, so that should be good. And then the last one's a port here, which, even when you damage a port, there's no additional effect to it, so I've left that till the end. I started with a high-speed raid, which is the one that we're wanting just ME110s to strafe. I'm starting to wonder if that shouldn't really be at the beginning, because it's more than likely going to get a big response, is it not? I think the thing I thought making that early was that I'm going to need to get my ME110s back, you know. So I figure if I get them out early, you know what? I think I should switch them over though, in the same time slot, but just do the normal Hornchurch raid first, and that might ease the pressure a bit for the high speed raid. And then we've got Kenway Airfield. I've got the Ace ME109 group in there. And then another gap in time to Kenway Airfield again. Then I've got the double gap again, so that when we reach this raid at Biggin Hill, we'll have our fighters back from the 12 o'clock and the 1400 hour slots. So that should be enough to then move on with the last 3 raids. Right, how have I got 7 raids then? Damn, I wanted to keep to 6 raids, didn't I? I wonder what I'm doing there. Yeah, my intention was to only run 6, wasn't it? Because I don't like the fact that I'm down to 11 grouping with the 7 raids. It just means that, well, unless you go with less well, I mean, if you go with 3 bombers, you've got to have 1 ME109, 2 ME110s, so that's you up to 6. Sorry, 3. Oh, am I counting that right? Hang on. If I take just 3 bombers, I need 1 ME109 and 2 ME110s. That's 6. That leaves me 5. Well, that isn't that bad then, is it? But whereas if we have 4 bombers, we need 2 ME109s and 2. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then leaves you a nice 4 for the hunt box. If I do it the other way, I only get 3 bombers, but I actually get 5 for the hunt box. And it does give us another raid. Well, maybe we should try it this time. I mean, the last two days worth of raids, I've just stuck with that 6 raids and 12 grouping maximum, you know, and it felt like it was okay. But maybe I do need to change it up then. Maybe I could change that up and at least see how it goes. Yeah, I think I will try this actually. That's about, well, what I'll maybe do is, I mean, I know I'm meant to set these out first, but the next part of this is placing my bombers. So maybe while I'm placing my bombers and I see a problem, there's no new information on it, and I could maybe change it. But I think so, because even if I chose 4 bombers for a couple of the raids, That gives me 2 fighters in Channel Patrol, 2 fighters in Coast Escort. That's 8, and then I could have three fighters in the hunt box. So maybe take a couple of raids with a slightly riskier, fighters in the hunt box situation. Okay, right, we'll try and set up for that then. So that was our raid target selection. Hang on, just move this back a little bit. I had it on the map there. So that's just done that. Again, I'm not going to bother with these forward airfield targets, so we'll skip on the next card. So yeah, this is where we're assigning our bombers anyway, so I've got to assign the whole bombers for the whole. I've got to watch for high command requirements. The Jabos don't come in until September the 1st, we're not there yet. But I do get to use Wolfwalk 3. The only thing I've got to watch is the raid that is Wolfwalk 3 needs to have Wolfwalk 3 grouping in it. But all the rest of the Wolfwalk 2 raids can contain anything, which is really good. So, right, I'll go and have a think on how I'm going to set this out then. Okay, I think I'm going to go with that. I've started with 3 Ju-88s Hornchurch. This is obviously just going to have ME-110s. I was looking at that again, and it's... You don't do the rendezvous check, okay. And it doesn't count towards two of the same when it comes to check the rendezvous for this Hornchurch. But, I don't know. It's worth a try, though. I mean, I think... Well, I was going to say when you're doing it, at least it frees up some of your bombers, but because I've got this event to use the Wolfwalk 3 units, I've got plenty of bombers to spare, to be honest. I've not used any of the Dornier 17s, so I suppose we're reducing my raid size slightly as well. So there's 3, is that 3 or 4? That's 3 in there as well. Ju-88s. That been right? What am I thinking being there? I think it's just because if I go for the 4, I'm only going to get 3 fighters in the hunt box, I think that's what my worry is. So I figure it's better just starting with 3 there, because we're going to get plenty of fighters responding, I think. So I've stayed with 3 there. There's 4, they were like Heinkels, I think. Yes. And then here I've got 4 Ju-88s, 2 from Wolfwalk 3 and 2 from Wolfwalk 2. And then this is where I put the Ju-87s. And this is the Wolfwalk 3 raid, so it's got to be Wolfwalk 3 units, this. So I went for the Ju-87s there, went for 4 of them, and then finished the raid with 3 Heinkels in the last Ju-88 that I had for 4 units there as well. Yeah, I don't know. I still can't fathom out the sort of clever things to do. I'm afraid. I was thinking at first I had 4 in here, and I thought, well, hang on, this is the first raid of the day. Well, let's only have 3, so you've got fighters to cope with them. So there was a bit of thought put into that. And I just feel like I start seeing things after the raids start, and I start seeing the things happening and realise that, if I'd done this slightly better, but I don't know. Maybe I need to play through a full game of it before I start grasping things. Anyway, I'm just going to go with that. I've got these ME-110s ready because I wanted to make, obviously it looks like I'm going to use 5 of them for here. So we've got to remember we need 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here as well. So in actual fact, I should have counted that, shouldn't I? That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many is there? That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I can use an ME-109 though. It's not the end of the world. They don't have to be MA-109s and I should have plenty of them because again I'm getting the Luftwaffe 3. Okay, let's go with that, and unless I spot anything, like I say, as long as no new information kicks in, then I don't mind sort of rewinding a little bit, but so yeah, and we had 7 raids, so our maximum raid size is going to be 11. Well, it says assign at least 1 bomber group into each raid. Well, hang on, I don't want any bombers though in the second raid. Assign at least 1 bomber group into each. Oh, hold on. Yeah, these need to be put in now then, don't they? Okay. Right, so I do actually have to, I think, put my ME-110s in now. So I picked the 3 from Luftwaffe 3. Now these should come back in time for the raid at Yeovil, which is the Luftwaffe 3 raid. So I picked the 3 from there, and then I picked the 2 elites because if it's just ME-110s that we're using, seems like we should have the elites along. So I picked 5. 5 is within the, if I happen to get a poor intelligence level, and if I've got 45 grouping, I may declare it a minor or major raid. So if that does happen, then it might give us some thing to think about at least. Okay, so I think that's all I need to do. So that does count. They do count as bombers then. I've just never done that before. So must have to satisfy that part to start with. Okay, so and then we'll move on to the next card. Right, what do we get next? It's the fighters, yeah. So beginning with the earliest time segment to which you have assigned a raid. Assign fighter group into raids in the first 3 time segments of the day by moving a fighter group in from airbases to target cards. So, and again, we've not moved on to the deep raids, so they're all in range. So we do need to assign to the 0600, the 0800 and the 1000 time slots. Obviously we're not concerned with the second raid at Hornchurch for fighters. Yeah, because they can all go... I think, well, none of them can go in the hunt box. ME-110s cannot go in the hunt box. I think they can go in the close escort or the bomber box. But my guess is we just put them all in the bomber box. Well, in fact, that's what I've done, is it not? I've classed them as bombers. I suppose if I'd left some out of that part of the selection, I could now put them in as close escort. But I'm not sure I see the need for close escort fighters. So I think they're all going in the bomber box. So anyway, we do need fighters for Hornchurch, the first raid, Kenley, and both raids at Kenley. So we need them. Now we've got 3 bombers in these 2, and we've got 4 in there. So okay, that should be straightforward to get them together. Okay, so yeah, what I've got, well, there's three bombers here, and we're allowed 11 maximum. So I've got 2 ME-110s and 6 ME-109s. Obviously, we've got this sorted here. This one there, I could have put more in there, couldn't I? I think we'll see. We'll see if we can keep it at that. I don't know. To get a poor result, you need to have it quite low. Well, actually, there's poor. They are on 13, but I don't know. It's a bit random, isn't it? For you to try and think yourself into a good intelligence role, but right. Well, it's all just see how it goes. So we've got 3 bombers here, so I've only got 1 ME-110 here, so that's 4. So there must be 7 109s there. And then finally, there's 4 bombers here, 1 ME-110 and 6 ME-109s. So that's all I need to put out for fighters. So I still have 5 total ME-109s. I mean, you're spoilt with that event, really. So I'm hoping I've done it in a reasonable way, because, you know, I probably should be taking advantage of the fact that we can use the whole Luftwaffe 3 fighters, bombers as well, you know. So anyway, right, let's move on. So I've not got too much time left. So that was our fighters for the first 3 time segments. So let's see if we can get a raid going before I have to call this a night. Rowan British Night Patrol table to find the number of Blenheim squadrons assigned to Night Patrol. Right, he's got the wee chart here, so I think I've moved my dice, hang on. Okay, so yeah, we're August. Actually, what are we now? The 23rd? Oh, we're still in the first column then. 4 this time though. Oh, that's 2. Right. So I think we only had 1 before, and then the last time we had none. So so it selects from 611. Oops. 611 is here. So he goes on Night Patrol, and he's up there. And what is the second priority? Is 312. Where is that? Oh, it's up beside the box, isn't it? So 312, there's the Blenheim there from 312. So he goes in here. So that's the 2 night fighters out on patrol. Okay, that's it. What's that? Card number 7. Bomb damage repair. Well, we had nothing damaged, so there's no light damage or heavy damage, so nothing doing there. Yeah, but nothing. Yeah, we got no radars at all here, did we? I don't think we had any the last raid either, the last day. So here's the time of day and weather. Right, place a clock marker on the first raid, of which I've got a raid. Yeah, the time. Yeah, so 0600. And we're going to roll for the weather. Got a 5, which is partly cloudy in Luftwaffe 2, broken cloud in Luftwaffe 3. Well, I suppose it could have been worse. The other way around would have been worse, wouldn't it? So, sorry about that. Squeak. That's me just dragging the. This is Luftwaffe 3. So that's going to be broken clouds. It's going to change to broken clouds, but we are going to get partly patchy, whatever. The same thing anyway. I wonder about moving the. Yeah, I know it's not very nice viewing it when you're moving the camera back and forward briskly like that. It's probably. I don't know. This is a game where you do move about a bit. I feel that to look at things. I'm maybe getting lazy about just pressing the pause button. Also, I'm wondering if there was a stabilisation option, but it said if you've got a tripod, you should leave it on the setting that says tripod. But I'm starting to wonder if that means, you know, it's stabilising it because you're on a tripod and you're not moving it about like I'm doing. So it might be better looking into a possible change of the setting and that. Anyway, that's for me to work out. Right. Next, right, so we're on to the raid phase now. And here we go. Yeah, so let's get the first raid in at least, and hopefully that can do it for a wee episode. Okay, so raid selection and deployment. Choose a target card for the current time segment. Yeah, I know I could choose either or, but if you've set them out that way, why bother? I don't think. Well, maybe if the weather would make you change your mind, I suppose. Yeah, so bombers to bomber box. Yeah, and it says there ME-110s to close escort box if at least one grouping in bomber box, or to bomber box. So yeah, just for that next raid. Obviously, if no bombers, we can put them in the bomber box. Right, that's good. Okay, so I'll get the first raid down. Okay, so there we go. First raid is at Hornchurch Airfield, and oh, I've not put my wee markers out. Let's do that and let's have a look at the sectors. Okay, there's our markers. The first raid is in Hornchurch Airfield, and then our second raid is going to be there too. Third and fourth raid are Kenway Airfields, these two here. Then Biggin Hill Airfield. Then this one away down here in Yeovil, this is the Industry. So it's a bit away out of the way, because it's the one that's we fought 3, and then we finish off with Dover Port, the Port of Dover. So there we go. So Hornchurch to start with. We only picked 3 bombers for this, figuring that there'd be some nasty response, so we're ready for them. Well, we've got 5 ME-109s, and yeah, maybe this isn't that bad a way of doing it, because if we manage to avoid any fighters any squadrons getting in here, then we do get to bring these down into the bomber box, you know. So although we've got 15 points, that could turn into 19 points strength, you know, bombing strength. Oh, yeah, what is it? It's radars, isn't it? Is it? What's the strafing penalty? Radar, city, headquarters, or military bases. Well, you know what? We've none of them, so we're okay for that. So we'll not get that penalty of reducing. Well, it reduces it in half, so it still gives it a 1 strength. Right, so that's us ready for our first raid. So let's move on with our British detection. Right. Okay, let's get the dice roll to start with. Whoa, nice start. A 1. So we're looking at the Hornchurch Airfield first. And now, what does it have? It has patchy clouds and Lufot 2. So that's a slight bonus to us. It's a 3. So our 1 to start with turns into a 4. And then we have 2 radar nets, so that's an R4, so that's up to 8. And then just glancing up at the last part, we should know this off by heart by now. Oh, mind you, we're bringing slightly less this time, aren't we? So we're still 10 to 13 grouping, aren't we? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. So we're still a +4 for that. Yeah. So 12. So that's not bad. Sufficient and limited. We'll take that. It's not a bad starter. And that's just the dice roll, really, isn't it? Because you're not going to be able to... There's nothing you've got altered there. So sufficient and limited. That's good. That doesn't bring the A squadron along, does it? No, it doesn't. Right, next card. Raid rendezvous check. Right, we've got to remember that... Well, you know what? I'll just roll the dice first. Just the other card doesn't count, because that's the one that's got that high-speed raid in it. I'll roll the dice and see if it's going to affect us. That's a 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's got us this time, innit? And that other card does not. I think it only comes into effect with these 2. You know, it's not one of 2 raids from the same. It cancels that out and it cancels that one out. But 11 or more grouping are in the raid, and the Luftwaffe is not depleted, and we've got bang on 11. So we're getting a rendezvous failure here. So I need to roll the dice again. I want this to be low. Right, we got away with a 2. So our B grouping are reduced. So yeah, it's going to happen. I mean, you've got to pick one from each. So this guy's reduced. One of our bombers is reduced. Oh, we've got 2 Bs for our fighters. Yeah. No, well. Well, yeah, I was going to say it doesn't really affect it, but it does. It adds a 1 to the hunter attack and the squadron attack, isn't it? So yeah, it just shows you how brutal. But I have to say we have got away with that pretty well. We managed to avoid it quite well, actually. So we can't complain. Right, British raid response. So looking across, we have what was it? We're at right. Lost my train. Yeah, sufficient and limited. So we are sufficient. Ooh, that's a bad starter. Then it's 4 from. Actually, it's worse than the early for the 611. I suppose that's where it is. Right, so from 4 from 611, just glancing across, there's only 3, so yeah. And then 2 from 511, 2 from 711, and 2 from London, which there's not any in. So I'll swing around the map and we'll have a look. Okay, so 4 from 611, we've got 3 Spitfires, and remember they don't go in the cup, because that's the sector that's involved and it's an airfield. And then 2 from 511 and then 2 from 711. So 2 from 511 is here, so I'll take, randomly not take the A. So we're taking the B and the C. That's us up to 5. 3 of which are outside the cup, and 2 from 711. Right, well, we take one of the Hurricanes first. We're taking the C, and we take the Spitfire next. So that's 7 squadrons in total. No, it's not too bad, I suppose. That was just the sufficient warning that was helped us out there a little bit, because it would have been worse, to be honest, if it had been early. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, I'll not go and show you this chart. It's away across the other side, and the light would probably cause me issues, so we'll just work our way through it. I need a dice roll to start with, don't I? Yeah. This is to see what's coming out the cup. That's a 6 to start with. Probably not great. Date is August 20th to 31st. It is +1. That's a 7. Primary target is an airfield, yes. +2 for 9. Target is deep, no. Warning is very early, no. Intelligence is accurate, no, it is not. Intelligence is limited or accurate. And the raid has 9 to 11 grouping as a +2, that's 11. Quite like the idea of the 11. The 11's low. We're going to drop one though. Target cards yet to be resolved in the same time segment. That's going to take us down to 10. Which takes you up to all out. That was harsh. Because 11 was giving me a low. And how many grouping are in the squadrons in the pool? 7, which would have took 3 of them out. So now we're all out. It's only going to take 1 of them out. I don't think that card cancels that part out. I think it was just a rendezvous check. I just double checked that strategy card though. No, it doesn't. It just affects the rendezvous check. And I did notice there though that I subtract 2 from the detection modifier, so I need to remember that one. I didn't quite think about that at the time I was looking at it. So, okay, so what I'm only taking 1 out of the pool, aren't I? So there's going to be 6 left. Well, we do have 5. Yeah, 2 of them got reduced. So one of the 711 Hurricanes gone back into its sector. So that now leaves us 6 in the pool, which I'm pretty sure they're going to respond with. Our, what is it? It's limited, isn't it? Limited intelligence. Number of grouping and raid excluding Channel Patrol is 10. And squadrons of the pool is 6. Yeah, they're all going to respond. Yeah, I figured. Okay, so 6 squadrons against our 5 Messerschmitts. So, ML. Right. Let's see, and one of them's probably going to sneak by, isn't it? Because it just needs to roll above a 1. I think. We'll find out just now, I think. Right, so Hunter Interception, yeah, I'm just going to find out just now. So the squadrons are... so grouping are less than squadrons. So we roll dice. Oh, we have rolled a 1. I think that's a result. So if the result is less than or equal the number of excess squadrons, all squadrons stay in the hunt box. So we got lucky there then. Because it was a 1 and we could only roll because there's 1 excess squadron. So it means they're all staying there. So that's good for us. Yeah, it is, isn't it? We want to try and avoid them getting into the... Although I'm sure with that amount of squadrons are still going to get into the bomber box somehow. Okay, raid approach event. Well, these are the things that could change things, I suppose. Channel patrollers hunt. Ooh, if the raid target is coastal, that's inland. Move all grouping from the channel patrol box to the hunt box. Oh, that would have been good. We've only got 1 ME-109 channel patrol, but would have been good. However, it's an inland target, as you can see up here, and not a coastal target. So, okay. Nice to see though, that would have been quite nice. However, it's not happening, Grant. Right, hunter attack. So here we go. We've got quite a lot to add up here. We've got a couple of ME-109s to contribute, unfortunately, as well. Right, let's roll a nice low number. Or a 5. Right, not so good. So we have 1, 2, 6, 10, 14, 17, 21, 24, and 5 grouping. 5 grouping in the combat. A result of 24 takes us down to F. I think that's far enough down for that 5 to make a mess of things, I think. Yeah, nothing different there. Yeah, okay, so 5 we have LAD for us. So white loss for the A. No, we've only got 1 at least. So that's an R loss victory point. Abort for the Bs, which is to in-flight reduced. Oh no, hang on. Oh, they're reduced. Oh, ouch. Yeah. These are going white loss. Turn to their full side. This is bad. This is a bad start. So both of them are reduced. Both of them are white losses. Turn to their full side. That's us now on -2 victory points. And then our C's are disrupted, which is to in-flight. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure some of the fighters are going to get through to our bombers, like. Okay, well, so what are they getting? Well, they're getting AA and then no effect, so abort for the A's, abort for the B's, and the C's. Well, let's just move the C's up, because they're staying. and then the full squadrons with abort all go to in-flight reduced. Now, I suppose that part of it's quite good, but yeah, get the feeling we're going to struggle to get much bombing damage here. So that's that done. Right, next is card 16, so raid target event. There's something to help us out, maybe. Navigational error. If the raid target is inland or deep, well, it is. Shift 2 columns left for bombing. Well, no, that's not going to help. 2 columns left. Are you serious? Okay. I'll keep this down here just now so I don't forget. That would be nice. Nah, I'm not like that. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit of a wash, I feel. So, the squadrons are less in grouping than bomber box. Select grouping to be attacked equal to the number of squadrons. Pick full before reduced. Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. This reduced one's going to escape. These are going to be intercepted. And if any grouping and bomber box are not intercepted, move aside an equal number of yeah, so it means that this guy will contribute. So I want the lower number, don't I? Yeah, so I want to push him aside. So he's going to be involved in the squadron attack. Yeah. Yeah, doesn't bode well, I don't think my 3 strength from the guy that got away with a 2 column shift to the left is going to do an awful lot. Right, well, you never know. These guys might survive. One of them might survive. Yeah, right. So we've got 5. Remember, this guy counts as well this time. I'll roll dice. Keep it low. Oh, it is low this time. It's a 2. So we've got 2, 7, 12, 16, 19 with 3 grouping involved. So 19, 3 grouping. Yeah, it's down at the G row, I'm afraid. And the G row says for a 2, DHA. Well, fortunately, we've not got any B's for the H result, so D disrupt for the A. So, right, hang on, Grant. This is. Well, let's look at the close escort guy first. So, close escort with an A. Sorry, it's not an A, Grant. It's a D. Actually, they're both the same if they're full to in-flight reduced. So he goes in-flight reduced, and our bomber A is disrupted to in-flight reduced. Yeah, I think they're pretty similar. There's only a couple that slightly changed with the close escort, and the C as an abort result. So yeah, that's. Oh, hang on. No, sorry, I've made a mistake there. Hang on. Let's put this guy back just now. The A result is a D. Units in bomber box, full grouping, disrupt, stay in bomber box, reduced. How did I manage that one? I think I looked at reduced. So he survives actually. So okay, we've got a slim chance or something. And then it's the C units that will abort, so he goes in-flight reduced. And then the 2 fighters, there's no A's, so that would be no effect. The white loss is a B, and they're both C's, so they're both going to disrupt. Is that going to reduce them? to in-flight reduced. Yeah, well, they are going reduced, I suppose. So at least we're messing them up a bit. Yeah, if it hadn't been for that event, we might have stood a chance still, but we've got 6 points of strength now with a 2-column shift left. Don't fancy my chances, like. Okay, so that's done. On to bombardment. Okay, so like I say, 6 strength. Now I might as well roll the dice. Oh. You know what that means. It's a 1. I don't think I need to look up here, do I? Well, actually, we've got patchy clouds as well. So it's a 3-column shift to the left. Because we've got the event that moves us to... We've got a strength of 6. Here's a 6. 1, 2, 3. We're in this column here, and we rolled a 1. So let's just forget all about that. Okay. Yeah, not a good start. Right, you can chuck that event away. And I've moved all the grouping into the in-flight box. Yeah, that's that. Well, hopefully we've messed with some of the fighters. That's the only thing we can sort of think of. Right, move all group in the in-flight box to the air bases. Well, there was 2 ME-110s got reduced there, so it's not so good. Yeah, well, mind you, we still left 1 on the thing. That'll be fine. So they go 1, 2, 3, 4 turns ahead. The ME-109s go 3 turns ahead. 3 time spaces ahead, so 8, 10, 12. Yeah. And then our bombers all go to back to their air bases. Full side up, don't they? These were formally fought 3. Yeah. Okay. That's me done that. Clock check. Flip the target card. Now we've still got a raid for this time slot, but I think I need to cut it there. Yeah, I was forgetting I've still got another time, but yeah. So we've got another raid for the 0600 time slot. So we just go back to card number 9 and start again with that next raid. So yeah, see, this is the bit. When you put them both in one time slot, what fighters have come out of the sectors, I mean, I know this is kind of obvious, and it's not that I've not realised it before, but these are things you should think about. And I suppose I did partly, because I picked 2 raids at Hornchurch Airfield, which is 611. So, you know, if we pull any... You know, the response is not going to get any units from 611, and they're the ones that would stay out the cup as well. So there is some thought on that, I think, maybe a little bit. Okay, right, I'm going to have to take a break though for now, guys. So yeah, and when I mean a break, I'm probably done for the night. So, but at least that's another bit done. I'm going to need to... Well, I've got a wee bit of time left, but I want to get this game finished. It's not that I'm trying to rush it, but I do need probably this table. I also noticed today that Enemy Action Kharkov is now showing as... going to be released soon on the Compass website. They've got the general have, I think they show 5 different games that are next in line to be released, and although it's number 4 in that within that 5, it is in that list. So and I think somebody said that maybe next month it might be. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll get done with this game before then. I do have some friends coming across though that I'd like to get the table free for, which again is actually, you know what, it's probably about the same amount of time away. It's about a month or so away, so But you know how slow I can do these things. And I'm still plodding away with my Empire of the Sun there. It's a challenge, but I really like it actually. It's starting to turn me into a real war gamer where I've got to make some decisions for my opponent, if you like. Anyway, okay, right. I'll wrap this up for now, and we'll get back with that. Oh, just one last thing. I suppose we could. Oh, careful, Grant. Almost pushed the board there. We can adjust this by. It's still Hornchurch we're attacking next, but that's one raid anyway. Okay, I'll be back soon, guys. Cheers.